Well, greetings, friends. In our reading today, we have many of the judgments of God upon Egypt because Pharaoh wouldn't let the people go. We call them the plagues of Egypt, the 10 plagues. And interestingly, there were several of the plagues of the flies, the livestock, the hail, and the locusts, where God warned and said they were coming tomorrow. Now, God does that. It's the mercy of God that he will warn that judgment is coming, and it's up to us, it was up to Pharaoh to take heed of that warning. And you see, he resisted, he hardened his heart, and the plague came. And it's the same with you and I. God warns us in his words about things that were coming if we will not follow him, if we will not be obedient. But we want to put it off to tomorrow. We want to make the decision or wait on the decision. Well, judgment will come. But I want to focus our attention today on the plague of the frogs. And I want to read from chapter 8, verses 2 to 4. Now, my mother had a terrible fear of frogs. I brought a bullfrog in one time to the house. I didn't know she was scared of frogs. And I brought a bullfrog in and she jumped up on the counter because she was so fearful of frogs. And there were times that a little rain frog would come into the house or whatever, and she would call me, and I would drive the 4 or 5 miles down to get the frog out of the house. But here is a plague of frogs. Listen to me in beginning in verse number 2 in chapter 8. But if you refuse to let them go, behold, I will plague all your country with frogs. The Nile shall swarm with frogs and shall come upon in your house and your bedrooms and on your bed, into the houses of your servants and your people and into ovens and your kneading bowls. Frogs shall come up on you and your people and all your servants. Now, interestingly, the frogs came upon them, and then Pharaoh called Moses back and said, get rid of the frogs. Can you imagine all the frogs everywhere? I don't know what kind of frogs they were. Might have been bullfrogs, might have been small frogs, but can you imagine all the frogs? And Moses said, when do you want me to take the frogs away? And Pharaoh said, tomorrow. Now, here is something interesting, friends. I heard a sermon one time that said, one more night with the frogs. And friends, I want to say to you that we do not need to spend another night with the frogs. We can get rid of them now. But why was Pharaoh so resistant that he wanted to spend one more night with the frogs? Listen, we don't have to suffer one more night with what we're going through with. We can ask God right now for deliverance. Don't spend another day the way you are. If you're bound with frogs or bound with whatever it may be, you can ask the Lord today for deliverance. Don't wait till tomorrow. Today is the day of salvation, Scripture says in the New Testament. So don't wait for tomorrow. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.